Alright Nintendo, you've got some explaining to do. Super Mario Maker was one of the most popular games to release during the Wii U's lifetime, and you have to admit, whether or not some of the levels make you want to reconsider prematurely burning your gamepad before Smash Ultimate comes out, it's a pretty good game. Pretty much anyone can pick it up, it has tons of style, and a literal endless amount of new content. I mean, Nintendo figured out a way to make a game that freaking makes itself. How much more of a win can you get? So, with all of that said, a lot of people and myself are all asking, why hasn't the game been ported to the Switch yet? With Nintendo giving almost every popular Wii U game a Deluxe, a DX, or an Echo Fighter, I mean sequel, you'd think they'd include one of the best games that released on the console. So, what gives? Well, what if I told you that the real reason Nintendo seems to have completely forgotten about Mario Maker's existence was in light of a new title, a new Maker of sorts that has yet to be announced. And not just that, but that beta footage of this hypothetical game has already been seen on the internet? Well, what if I told you that the real reason Super Mario Maker isn't coming to the Switch is the Legend of Zelda Maker? Hey everybody, I'm Splash, and today I'm gonna freaking blow your minds and tell you all that. Wait, is someone already typing a hey comment a minute and 30 seconds into the video? Well, I guess I should make it clear now that this video is speculation. For all I know, Super Mario Maker for Switch could literally get announced the day after I release this video. And in that case, oops. But I wouldn't be making it if I didn't have evidence or reasons, and I just so happen to have both of those. So like I was saying before, I'm gonna freaking blow your mind. The first thing we have to establish for this to make any sense is that Nintendo is choosing not to port the game. By that, I mean that there's nothing inherently stopping Nintendo from making a Mario Maker on the Switch. While the Switch isn't by any means trademarked the most powerful console of all time, it's definitely miles enough ahead of the Wii U to make them send that thing to its grave faster than they killed the Miiverse. And Super Mario Maker is far from a hardware-intensive game, as I covered in a previous video, so they're not really limited by the console. It's got a touchscreen, it's got 2 sticks, and it almost has the internet. Heck, they even threw it on the 3DS, which is 7 years old and still being supported today for probably a good reason. That's like porting Mario Sunshine to the SNES, which is freaking nuts. So, what could possibly be stopping Nintendo from porting the game? One possible issue I see people bringing up on the internet is that the Switch's touchscreen is nothing like the Wii U's. And while I definitely agree that trying to make anything precisely with a touchscreen like that would be pretty uncomfortable, those same people are ignoring the Switch's new features, like the crazy smooth motion controls that make the console so fun to use, or even the possibility that Nintendo might just include a cheap stylus in the game's box. Plus, with Nintendo's new online service already out, there couldn't be a better time to get people to actually want to use it. Nintendo would lose nothing. In fact, it'd be beneficial for them to port the game to Switch. So, it's not the fact that they can't do it, they're just holding out for what I'm saying is the next game in the Maker series. But Flashcap, what the frick does this have to do with the Legend of Zelda Maker of all things? Well viewer, let me answer that question with an even better question. Why was Mario Maker even made in the first place? Well Flashcap, let me answer that question with an even better question. Why haven't I gotten to the point yet? I don't know. Writing scripts is hard, okay? Jokes aside, Super Mario Maker was originally planned just to be a development tool for Nintendo to use within the company, until somebody in there realized, hey wait, this is actually really fun and could also make us crap tons of money. And then... That's the thing, Mario Maker was never really planned, it just sorta happened. They were making a development tool in the first place because there's just a lot of cool stuff and mechanics you can test out and mess around with and stuff. And recently, this exact same instance happened again, right before our eyes. But this time with a game you're probably not expecting. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. When I say people love this game, I mean people really love this game. Like, Ocarina of Time levels love this game. I know I'm probably gonna get obliterated for this in the comments, but I don't actually own Breath of the Wild, nor have I ever played it. So I can't really relate. But even as an outsider who hasn't touched the game, I can certainly agree and say the game looks beautiful. It's got a whole lot of grass, and graphics, and stuff. And coming from this, I can also certainly say that there is no way this is actually the game's prototype. What the f? Yep, this game, the masterpiece IGN 10 out of 10 Zelda adventure, started out as an NES remake? Well, not exactly. The real story behind this prototype is that the developers made it as a tool to test out mechanics they wanted to implement in the real game. So while Breath of the Wild was never really a remake of the original Zelda, wait, was it? The team, one way or another, ended up creating a tool that could be used to create classic top-down Zelda worlds and dungeons. And it's not like this was just a low-quality throwaway mock-up. They went all out on this thing. In what little gameplay we have of this prototype, we can see that there were tons of different enemies, combat options, and even some things that they didn't bring up in the commentary, like collectible items. That's not to mention the new stuff they added, like the ability to shoot fire, water physics, and even something as simple as pushing a log. These dudes added everything. This gameplay is what I believe to be the first and earliest footage of what could become the Legend of Zelda Maker in the future, because of just how much content and thought was put into this internal development tool. But the craziest detail of all is the presentation of this prototype. The style of polish with the slightly angled 8-bit shadows, better colors, as well as the bounce and tweening on some of the animations, and even the newly added HUD, is nearly identical to that of the Super Mario Bros. Theme for Super Mario Maker. The amount of content and the presentation of this quote-unquote demonstration is not only one-to-one with something you'd see in Mario Maker, it's a fully fleshed out tool that can make Zelda levels. There are so many possibilities with the Zelda Maker 2, like making an overworld, dungeons, the Dark World, or even towns and castles. Not to mention the possibility of probably heavily moderated dialogue too. It could be like an RPG maker from the very people who defined RPGs. And that's what gets me so excited about this possibility. With the way Zelda works, there's so much potential in a level creator because of all the ways the franchise has changed over its top-down iterations. I mean, you have the original, A Link to the Past, the Minish Cap and Four Swords, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, and even A Link Between Worlds. There are so many twists, so many mechanics, so many puzzles, and different things to mess around with from all the generations of top-down Zelda. And yet, if people had access to it, they'd probably still find a way to make an automatic level. But that's the beauty of games like these, because when there's so much stuff that you can screw around with, people are gonna do whatever they want. Which is why a Zelda Maker, especially after the series' massive popularity spike and quote-unquote rebirth, would not only be a great game on its own, but a worthy successor to the Mario levels made before it. And hey, maybe we could still get a Mario Maker port afterwards if it does well enough. I mean, they still have yet to add slopes, so there's definitely room for improvement. Like I said before though, this is all still speculation, a theory, dare I say, a game theory. So try to take this answer with a grain of salt, that's already coming from the comment section. But one thing's for sure, even if the Zelda Breath of the Wild prototype goes unused, there's still a lot of potential and possibilities in the Zelda Maker. And speaking for myself, I think it'd definitely be an acceptable reason to hold off on a Mario Maker port. So there it is, The Legend of Zelda Maker. Hypothetically the real reason we haven't seen Mario Maker on the Switch yet. And while it's still just an idea, it's a pretty dang cool idea at that. This has been my take on Mario Maker for the Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, that's all for today guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like down below. It really helps get the channel out there and reach more people. Or you could leave a comment telling me what you'd like to see in a Zelda Maker if it becomes a real thing at all. And as always, for more content weekly, not really at all, let's be honest man, I haven't made a video in 4 weeks. What do you think I've been doing this entire time? Grinding for gold on League or something? Wait, shut up. Anyways, as I was saying, don't forget to smash that squishy red subscribe button for more. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll be back in a flash.